All right, hit me again, Dan.
Sure. Just flying back from Disney on my honeymoon. Linus, what did you and your wife do for your honeymoon? And have you ever built a lightsaber?
We went to Greece. We went to Santorini. Our intention was to stay there for 2 weeks. It took about 4 days, I think, for us to start getting bored. We didn't realize, we're from Canada, where places are really big, and we ATV'd the entire circumference of the island, on the somethingth day, and kind of ripped around across it as well. And we were like, oh. And we started kind of memeing on what there was to do on the island. So we'd be on the ATV and we'd be like, we'd get each other's attention, like really excited. We'd be, look, honey, scenery. We're more doers than viewers.
Yeah.
If that kind of makes sense.
This is a problem that I run into when traveling, because there's some specific stuff I like to do when traveling, but I find not a ton of people like doing that. So there often isn't actually that many opportunities for it.
Yvonne and I, since then, usually come back from vacation far more tired than we were when we left for it. It's not a refreshing thing for us.
Absolutely.
We went to Mexico once for, I believe it was 7 days, and we dived 13 times or something like that. It was ridiculous. We went as many times as you can go without it becoming a problem for your health.
Yeah, that's what when I was in Greece a while back, that's what I did. I was either out on the water, out under the water, studying, or sleeping. There was pretty much nothing in between. I guess eating, but I would usually only eat one meal a day because I didn't have time.
So after that, we kind of went, I had the idea of visiting one of our Left 4 Dead gaming buddies in Dubai, because we happened to be a lot closer than normal. And it just turned out that it didn't really work out. We found flights and everything, and we were, the visas would have taken too long. So again, ignorant Canadian thing. We just thought that, Canadians just walked into any country they felt like, because we do have a pretty good passport. But it turns out Dubai needed a few days, and it would have eaten up a lot of our vacation, our limited amount of time, because we still had to fly back out of, I think it was Athens or something like that. So we didn't end up going to Dubai. Instead, we flitted over to, I think we might have spent a couple days in Athens, and then we were like, let's go to Rome, where I have to, man, this is going to be super unpopular. I did not like the food.
In Greece?
Rome.
I
didn't like the food in Greece either. It's really oily. I'm not that I don't like oil on my food.
I mentioned that I was having one meal a day. I found this one cafe that I really liked. I had food at a few places that I really didn't like. Then I found one cafe that was amazing, and I ate there every day.
People are so upset with me. Man, maybe it was just the touristy places or whatever.
That's
but
a big problem.
No offense to the birthplace of pizza or whatever, but wow. Where, is that all the cheese you're going to put on it?
I had the best pizza I've ever had at a extremely Italian pizzeria in Germany. So I believe it's a thing. It's probably the tourist trappy stuff, though, because the places I was eating in Greece that were garbaggio were tourist trappy.
Sure.
And then I found this cafe place that was a little bit off the road, didn't have anything on their menu in English type of situation. And it was fantastic. Very good.
Yeah,
very
I just, it was so expensive. And it's just remember guys, we were on our honeymoon, which, means we were splurging a little, but we had a house to pay for. We had just bought a house the year prior, and we were trying to put in double our monthly mortgage payments in order to pay down as much principal as possible. So maybe if you go to Rome and you blow a bunch of money on really high-end food, it's better. But I remember at the time feeling these meals are costing literally double of what we would pay for a nice meal at home. And it's a flat thing of bread with a bit of sauce and some cheese sprinkled on it. That's a pizza? Are you kidding me?
That is sort of a thing.
Where's my toppings?
Oh boy.
Yeah,
okay.
well,
I think that is a very Canadian.
Yeah, I mean that's fair enough, but it just It offends me from a bill of materials standpoint.
This is the thing that's going to get you canceled, this show.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh,
you can't,
no.
this is it.
you can't tell me that like 14 cents worth of flour and like half of a friggin' cherry tomato and like a little couple sprinklings of cheese is worth like the 20 euros or whatever it was costing me at the time.
There's
Like,
also a
I'm
single
sorry,
leaf
but
of
no.
basil. You're forgetting about the single leaf of basil. Do you know the price of basil?
It's basil, Dan, but okay.
No, I'll get canceled from my side of the pond.
Oh man.
There's things I can say about this, but neither I nor anyone in chat is going to change his mind, so it doesn't really matter.
No, I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
There's to include expenses, the oven at like Domino's and the oven at wherever you ate is probably not exactly the same caliber.
Sure, but why would I give two shits what oven it came out of? I'm eating the food, not the oven.
Yeah, but that is going to result in a difference. People do this thing where like when they analyze pizza, they like look at the bottom of it to see the cook marks and all this other type of stuff because it like influences stuff that I don't understand or care about personally. But it's like it's a whole thing.
It didn't taste good.
Okay.
And the portions were small and I was still hungry.
Okay. Was it a tourist trap spot though?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was well rated.
That doesn't mean much.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I found when I was in Japan, by the way, they are brutal. Like nothing is rated 5 stars. Most of the like
hilarious.
good stuff is like 3.8. Like it's they are so brutal. I was looking around like, wow, there's like nowhere good. What's going on? I was like, oh, good is like 4.2. There is like it's like the highest rating in this entire town.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Anyways.
Okay, yeah, let's do some more topics before I get myself super canceled by the Europeans.
Yeah, Avon Fox said, do you charge for the 2-minute IT fix or the years of experience gained to make it 2 minutes?
Well,
That
it depends.
argument
If the IT
fades-
fix like f***ing sucks,
that
then
argument
it
fades
doesn't
when
matter.
he hates the pizza.
Yeah, it just didn't taste good.
Yeah.
And it's look, it's not like I can't accept different kinds of pizza. Like I'll go to New York and eat like a New York style pizza or whatever. Like I don't care.
Have you had Chicago deep dish?
Oh, yes.
I went to a
Yeah, that's a whole thing.
reportedly famous. I'm going to get canceled now. I went to a reportedly like famous, very well known Chicago deep dish place.
I can't say I'm a fan.
That ain't it, man. That was a mistake. That
You're
is
gonna
back.
get uncanceled
You're
by
gonna
the
get
entirety.
Americans mad at us.
No,
it doesn't
but
matter
all
if
of New
Europeans
York
get mad at us.
now loves you.
They can't do anything from over there. The Americans are going to be like, hey, yeah, what's it? I don't know. I can't do an American accent. Point, doesn't matter. They're going to come up here.
What's it? That's how you sound, Americans. Hey, yeah, what's it?
Yeah, I found it soggy.
Oh man, and it's just
Soggy bread is not a feature. That's a bug.
it's just
I'm
like
sorry.
a cheese meat pie at this point.
Sorry,
which
not
I
sorry.
understand they're called pizza pies.
Just make
but
a
like,
lasagna.
Yeah,
You know, use
there's
a,
better things you can do with that mix of ingredients.
use a wheat product that is not so susceptible to being a
Soaked.
disgusting, mushy mess.
Yeah. God, I was like actually pretty excited for it. And we went and we had to wait in line for this place because it's like,
Yeah.
I don't even remember who I was with, probably Brandon. But we
Yeah.
had to wait in line for this place that was like all well known, blah, 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 blah. We wait in line, we get our pizza, one bite in. I'm just like,
Man,
what?
I went to a supposedly famous Jewish deli in New York, like in Manhattan, and I ordered a
Sounds like a
Reuben,
thing. Yeah.
and I was just like, it's fucking dry. Like, are you kidding me?
How do you even like make a Reuben dry?
I don't know. Like, didn't have enough mustard on it. I was like, what? It's dry.
Reuben is like, that's like covered. Yeah, that's like covered in sauerkraut. How do you even manage
I
to make
don't
that dry?
know. Okay, to be clear, you can make an amazing Reuben and you can make a disgusting Reuben, and there's basically nothing in between.
It's pretty.
But like, imagine screwing up it just being dry. What the heck? And like, again, there was like a line.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting here going, well,
I find a lot of the
this
line
is the
places.
most basic sandwich that like everything else was like, I was like, okay, I'm just going to go with like the one, you know, it's like going to a Thai restaurant and being like, I'll have your pad thai and some, peanut sauce chicken skewers. If you can't get this right, realistically, nothing else on your menu is probably any good anyway.
Yeah. I find a lot of the places that get the lines, it's not the way to go. Like
it's all hype, man. It's hype.
When my brother and I were in Japan, I think I've told this story before, but all the food that we had in Tokyo was honestly like not very good. But it's because we weren't really trying. We just like walk by. Oh, okay, we'll just go in there. Whatever.
It's just like a random ramen place.
Yeah. So it was like fine.
Probably fine.
But it wasn't amazing or anything. And then we went to...
Everything I had in Japan when I went was not bad, though.
No, none of it was
I couldn't find anything bad.
I ended up having one thing that I didn't like, but it was a mistake on my part. I ordered something I shouldn't have. I just didn't take enough time when I was looking at the menu. So it's not their fault. And then we went to the smaller town that we were staying at for when we were doing the drifting event.
Yeah.
And spent a little bit more time picking the places and stuff. Every single time it was like mind-blowingly good. Every single time. But it was a lot of like, not the first result on Google type of stuff.
I just like to jump in and say that Canadian food is too.
Yeah.
Like, we don't even have a cuisine.
Poutine.
Honestly. Oh, come on.
Poutine.
When's the last time you had good poutine? Have you ever had good poutine?
Costco.
Because
legitimately, I think it's 8 years ago.
The Costco one is...
No, Montreal. Montreal is where they're acceptable.
So here's the problem. Even in Montreal, I found it's pretty hit or miss. I lived there for an entire summer.
Yeah.
Even in Montreal, very hit or miss. And it is always something basic. They can have great fries, delicious gravy, real curds of cheese, real curds. And if you don't fucking heat up the gravy enough and it doesn't melt the fucking cheese, you're not eating poutine. You're eating fries in gravy that are cold and hunks of cheese. You're eating them separately now. If the cheese is not melted, it's disgusting.
What do you think about poutine abominations? That's a thing I came up with on the spot, but there's a am I even gonna be able to find it?
And like, honestly, we put way too much sugar in everything. I blame the Americans. They're a bad influence on our dietary habits.
Yeah.
I eat too much sugar, 100%.
Yeah. The amount of stuff that poutine crimes on Reddit, I haven't heard about that. But yeah, there's this restaurant called Streets that's local. It's not streets as in the road. It's STR and then eats.
Sure.
But it's one word, whatever. They have poutine. There's no like menu. There's just order online. How do I see the menu? Hello? What a weird website. But I've seen their menu before, which I don't know if I can even find it right now. But they have some weird. It's definitely not poutine, but it's in the poutine category. But it's kind of poutine related poutine. Can I find it? Okay, here we go. I got a menu.
Okay.
Bowls, fries.
All right, classic
Poutine. Okay, fine.
Sure.
Quebecois, fries, cheese, curds, gravy. Then they get into, they just call it pierogi poutine. Mini pierogies, bacon, sauteed onions, shredded cheese, green onions, sour cream. There's no gravy. There's no cheese curds.
Weird.
Buffalo chicken poutine, crispy chicken, Frank's red hot sauce, gravy, cheese curds.
I think they're taking some artistic license with the word poutine.
Yeah, they're talking fries in a bowl with stuff on top of it. That's the minimum requirement for poutine.
I mean, by that logic, you can get fish poutine, and it's just like deep fried haddock on top of fries.
Yeah, it's fish
with
and
coleslaw,
chips, but in a different physical orientation. Yeah, so I think that's how like most people get around it, is they just ditch the original what poutine actually is, and they're like, I'll have this other stuff.
Yeah, and like on it, like Japadog is supposed to be like super famous. It's like, it's a hot dog.
Yeah, I had one of those. I was like, that is definitely a hot dog with stuff on top of it. I find a lot of the famous places, personally, I enjoy more flavor. I find a lot of them to be on the more mild side. Both spice, but then general flavor as well. I find them to be more chilled out.
Yeah. So yeah, I know we've kind of dunked on everyone's food. I guess what I'm trying to say is we're just haters.
Yeah.
So don't take it personal.
Yeah.
Please, America, don't come after us.
None of my favorite places to eat around here serve Canadian food, let alone North American food. So it is what it is.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's one of the best things about living in Vancouver.
Yeah, food melting pot. Very good.
Yeah, you can get like anything here.
Yeah.